I am Miyamoto Musashi, swordsman, philosopher, and ronin. My name echoes through the ages as a master of the sword, a duelist unbeaten in over 60 encounters, and the author of the Book of Five Rings, a treatise that transcends combat and reaches into the nature of life itself. I was born in 1584 in the Harima province of Japan, during the tumultuous Sengoku period, a time of constant warfare and upheaval. My father, Munisai, was a martial artist of repute, skilled in the jit and kenjutsu. He trained me in the basics of swordsmanship, but I was orphaned at a young age. Alone, I wandered, trained, fought, and studied. I had no master to swear fealty to, only the way of the sword, which I pursued with relentless devotion. At the age of 13, I fought my first duel. My opponent was a seasoned samurai named Arima Kihei. I struck him down with a wooden sword I had carved myself. This victory was the beginning of a path drenched in blood and honor. By the time I was 21, I had already defeated several renowned swordsmen, including Hozoin Iniai's disciples, who practiced the formidable spear techniques of the Hozoin school. My most famous series of duels was against the Yoshioka school of swordsmanship in Kyoto. First I defeated Seijiro, then Denshikairo, and finally, a trap laid by the remaining members of the school. I arrived early for the ambush and struck from the shadows. Armed with two swords, I defeated dozens. The Yoshioka line of martial arts ended that day. I had not just fought them, I had dismantled their legacy. But my most legendary duel was in 1612, on a remote beach at Ganryujima. My opponent was Sasaki Kojiro, famed for his technique known as the swallow cut, which mimicked the motion of a bird in flight. I arrived late, armed with an I had carved into a wooden sword during the journey. This psychological tactic disrupted his focus. The fight was swift. One devastating blow ended it. I had anticipated him, outthought him, and struck with perfect timing. After that, I never fought another duel to the death. I served in the Shimabara Rebellion in 1637, though not as a direct combatant. I helped the Tokugawa shogunate in strategic planning. My talents were sought by various lords, Hosokawa Tadatoshi among them, who recognized the value of my mind as much as my sword. Despite opportunities to become a retainer, I chose the path of a ronin, unattached to any master. Freedom was my guide. My style, the two heavens as one school, employed two swords, the katana and the wakizashi, wielded simultaneously. This approach broke from tradition, but it reflected my belief that adaptability and perception are more vital than rigid forms. I taught that combat was as much mental as physical, and that a true warrior must understand all arts: calligraphy, painting, sculpture, tea ceremony, architecture, and philosophy. In my later years, I withdrew from public life and spent my final years in a cave called Ryugando, meditating, painting, and writing. There, I composed the Book of Five Rings. In it, I outlined the principles of my strategy through 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and void. Each chapter was not merely a lesson in combat, but a philosophy of existence. Earth taught grounding. Water taught adaptability. Fire was about the chaos of battle. Wind revealed the strengths and weaknesses of other schools. The void pointed to ultimate understanding, a place beyond technique, where intuition reigns. I also authored other writings such as the Dakoto, The Way of Walking Alone, a short text of 21 precepts I composed days before my death. It was a guide to self-discipline and detachment, urging one to avoid dependence, pursue the way relentlessly, and prepare for death with dignity. I died in 1645, seated in meditation, my sword by my side, my spirit unbroken. My legacy? I became more than a man. I became a symbol of mastery, discipline, and the pursuit of personal truth. My life was not one of comfort or power, but of devotion to a craft. In war, I sought understanding. In solitude, I found peace. In the void, I found form. I am Musashi, not merely the greatest swordsman of my time, but a mirror in which others still seek their reflection.